I've been holding on to a feeling for a while now, something warm and quiet, and meant only for the two of us. And tonight it finally feels right to let it unfold. It's not the kind of message that belongs in the noise of the world, or in a hurried moment. It's something softer, something that deserves stillness. As I speak to you now, I want you to imagine that everything else around us has paused, that the world has set down its burdens for a moment, leaving only you and the steady truth I want to offer. There are certain things I feel so deeply, yet rarely express out loud, because they feel too important to rush, too personal to fold into ordinary conversation. But you deserve to hear them. You deserve to know what you mean to me without hesitation or doubt. My words tonight belong wholly to you, shaped by the way your presence has brightened my days, eased my worries, and filled the quiet spaces inside me with warmth I didn't know I needed. Sometimes life moves quickly, so quickly that feelings get buried under tasks and responsibilities, under routines that pull our attention in 100 directions at once. But even in the busiest hours, there's a part of me that rests gently where you are, remembering your voice, your laughter, the way you make even the simplest moments feel meaningful. I never want you to wonder where you stand in my life or how much you matter to me. So think of this message as a hand placed softly on your heart, reminding you that you are cherished, admired, and treasured more than I ever managed to say in passing. This message is my way of stepping out of the rush of the day and choosing you, intentionally, wholeheartedly, with all the tenderness that has grown between us. I want you to feel that choice in every sentence. I want you to feel the steadiness of my care, the depth behind every quiet thought that has led me to this moment. Because you are not an afterthought in my life, you are part of my center, part of the compass that guides the way I move through the world. You've brought a brightness to my life that doesn't demand attention, but simply exists like gentle sunlight, always there, warming everything it touches. And in ways you might not even realize, you've helped me rediscover parts of myself that had gone quiet. Your kindness, your sincerity, the way you listen with your whole spirit, not just your ears, has shown me that real connection is not loud or dramatic. It grows in understanding, in patience, in shared glances and whispered hopes. What I want you to feel through my words is this: you are important. Truly, deeply important. There has never been a day where your presence has slipped into the background for me. Even when we're far apart, I carry you with me. In the way I look at the world, in the choices I make, in the softness that has taken root in my heart since you became a part of my life. I want you to know that your happiness is something I think about often, not as a responsibility forced upon me, but as something I want to protect and uplift, because your joy has become intertwined with my own. When you achieve something, I feel as proud as if it were my own victory. When you struggle, I want to be the one who steadies you, who reminds you of your strength when you cannot see it yourself. Your well-being matters to me more than I can express simply, and I hope you never forget that. There will be days when the world feels heavy on your shoulders, days when you doubt yourself or feel overwhelmed by things outside your control. And when those moments come, I hope you'll remember this message not as a fleeting piece of affection, but as a steady promise you are not alone. You don't have to carry your burdens in silence or pretend you're fine when you're hurting. I want to be the safe place you turn to, the person you can speak to without fear of judgment. Whatever life places before us, I choose to face it with you, not from a distance but side by side. Being with you has taught me something important. Love does not have to be complicated to be powerful. It doesn't need grand gestures or perfect timing. It grows quietly, like a flame that never flickers, strengthened by trust and honesty. And what we share has become that steady flame in my life. It lights my days in ways that feel natural, effortless, right. I hope you feel that same warmth from me, not only in moments of clarity like this, but in the everyday ways I try to show you that you matter. I want you to hear this next part especially clearly. My feelings for you are not uncertain or fragile. They are rooted deeply, not shaken by distance or time or challenges that might come our way. Loving you is not something I do passively. It's a choice I make with clarity, with intention, with the strongest confidence in what we're building. I want you to know that my commitment isn't conditional on good days or easy times. It remains steady even when life becomes complicated. You are someone I choose, again and again, without hesitation. And what I cherish most is how real we are together. You never demand perfection from me, you accept me in all the ways I exist. In my strength, in my vulnerability, in my hopes, in my uncertainty. And I want to offer you that same acceptance in return. I want you to feel safe being your true self with me, without having to hide pieces of who you are. Your thoughts, your dreams, your fears, they all matter. I want to know them, understand them, walk through them with you. You've given me something I didn't expect, a renewed sense of direction, a reason to grow, not out of pressure, but out of inspiration. You make me want to be better, not because I feel lacking, but because you bring out the best parts of me, the parts that might have remained quiet without your presence. I hope I do the same for you. I hope you feel supported, valued, and uplifted by me, not only in words but in every action I take. There's something beautiful about the bond we've created, how it feels both delicate and strong, gentle yet enduring. We're two different people with different histories, different experiences, yet somehow our paths have begun to move together in a way that feels natural and promising. And as we continue building whatever this is becoming, I want you to know that I am not afraid of the future. With you, it feels like something to walk toward with hope. But love is not made only of hopes, it's made of truth. So here is my truth: I care for you deeply. I carry you kindly. I think of you often, even in the smallest moments. And there are pieces of my heart I did not realize were waiting for someone until you arrived and touched them without even trying. When life becomes too loud or too uncertain, I want this message to be a place you return to. A reminder that there is someone who sees you clearly, who appreciates you deeply, who values you endlessly. Someone who will celebrate you in moments of joy and steady you in moments of pain. Someone who chooses you not for who you might become someday, but for who you are right now. You deserve a love that listens, a love that supports, a love that never asks you to diminish yourself. And I want to give you that, not as an obligation, but because being connected to you feels like one of the most genuine parts of my life. So let this message be the quiet truth between us. The truth that you matter, that you are cherished, that you are loved with a sincerity that does not waver. And let it remind you, whenever you need reminding, that my heart holds a space for you that no one else can occupy. This is only the beginning of what I want to say. There is so much more, and I will share it all, step by step, until every part of my heart has found its way into words for you. When I think about everything we've already shared, I'm reminded of how rare it is to feel understood by someone in the quiet, unspoken ways that matter most. There's a softness to the bond between us, something steady and sincere that doesn't need to be rushed or decorated with grand gestures. It simply lives and grows in the way our words find each other, in the way our silences feel comfortable rather than empty. And every time I reflect on it, I realize how deeply grateful I am for the connection we've built. There are many things I admire about you, but what touches me most is the honesty you bring into my life. Not just honesty in words, but honesty in the way you show up, with your imperfections, with your strengths, with your hopes and uncertainties. You don't pretend to be anything other than who you genuinely are, and that authenticity creates a space where I feel safe enough to be myself too. It's rare to find someone who invites truth instead of demanding perfection, and even rarer to find someone who embraces it with patience. In this message, I want to give you something just as honest as what you've given me. I want to offer you clarity about how I feel, so that whenever you question your worth or doubt yourself, you'll have something real to hold on to, something that reminds you how deeply I believe in you, how much I want to be part of your world, and how committed I am to supporting your dreams, your healing, and your future. There's a calm that comes over me when I think of you. Even on the days that feel too long or too heavy, the thought of you brings a kind of peace I can't explain. It's as if my spirit exhales whenever your name crosses my mind. You've become a quiet reassurance in my life, a reminder that even in a world full of uncertainty, some connections truly are steady, some bonds truly do endure, and ours, in its own unique way, has become one of those rare steady lights for me. But I don't want you to think my feelings are built only on comfort or gentleness. They are also built on admiration, real admiration for the strength you show even when you doubt it, for the determination behind your decisions, for the way you rise again even after difficult days. I see the effort you put into becoming better, the quiet growth you don't always acknowledge, the care you offer others without expecting anything in return. Those things matter. They reveal the depth of your character, and they're part of why my affection for you feels so grounded. If you ever wonder whether you're appreciated, please remember this: I notice your effort. I notice your kindness. I notice the way you push forward even when your heart feels tired. You don't have to pretend with me. You don't have to hide your vulnerability or your fears. I see them, and they don't make you weaker in my eyes. They make you more human, more real, and even more precious to me. I want this space between us to be one where you can lay down your burdens without hesitation. A place where your thoughts matter, where your feelings are welcomed, where your truth can exist without fear. I don't want you to guard yourself around me. I want you to breathe, to be honest, to be present. Whatever you carry, I want to carry a piece of it with you. Not because I expect anything in return, but because caring for you feels natural, almost instinctive. And as you open your heart to me, I promise to meet you with the same sincerity. I don't want to be a distant light you admire. I want to be a steady warmth you can rely on. I want to be the person who listens when the world feels too loud, who stands beside you when you feel small, who reminds you of your worth when doubt clouds your vision. I don't want to be part of your life only in moments of celebration. I want to stay present in the days when everything feels overwhelming, because that's when affection becomes devotion, and devotion becomes something lasting. There are moments when I imagine the future, small moments, simple ones, not the overwhelming visions filled with expectations, but quiet scenes where we are simply ourselves, sitting together after a long day, sharing stories about things that made us smile, holding on to each other when words fail, growing, slowly and gently, into a life where understanding becomes our foundation. These aren't fantasies meant to escape reality. They're reflections of the trust I feel in what we're building. I know the world isn't always kind. I know life challenges us in ways we don't foresee. But I also know that connections like ours become guiding lights when the path becomes unclear. You have become a steady part of my days, a comforting presence even when you're far away, a reason to look toward tomorrow with hope instead of uncertainty. That's why I want you to understand that my support for you is not fragile. It won't disappear at the first sign of hardship or fade when life becomes complicated. I'm here with a heart ready to listen, to carry, to encourage. You don't need to fear losing me whenever you make a mistake, whenever you fall short of your own expectations, or whenever you feel unsteady. I don't love you for your perfection. I care for you because of your sincerity, your determination, your kindness, your humanity. You've woven yourself quietly into the fabric of my daily thoughts. And now I move through my days with the comforting knowledge that you exist, somewhere in the world, thinking your own thoughts, facing your own challenges, and still choosing to share pieces of your life with me. That choice means more to me than you know. The way you trust me, the way you turn toward me instead of away. It's something I honor deeply. I want this message to bring you warmth whenever you need it. When you're unsure of your path, let these words remind you that you have someone cheering you on. When you feel small, let them remind you of the strength I see in you. When you feel lonely, let them remind you that I am here, connected to you in a way that distance cannot diminish. Our bond is not perfect, but it is real, and real things grow stronger with honesty, care, and time. I want us to continue building a space where both of us feel safe enough to share our thoughts without restraint. A space where we can be vulnerable without fear. A space where our truths meet softly without judgment or expectation. Relationships rooted in authenticity last because they are built on understanding, not obligation. And what we share has all the makings of something lasting. Something that will only deepen if we continue to open ourselves to each other. You don't need to hide your insecurities from me. You don't need to pretend to be stronger than you feel. Your fears, your doubts, your triumphs, your dreams, they all have a place here. I don't want a polished version of you. I want the real one, the one who feels things deeply, the one who still chooses hope even in the face of uncertainty. That version of you is extraordinary. As we continue this journey, I want you to know how much I value the trust you've given me. Trust is not something that appears instantly. It is built slowly, through moments of honesty and understanding. And every time you share a piece of yourself with me, I honor it. I hold it carefully, knowing it comes from a place of vulnerability. I promise to protect that trust, to nurture it, and to give you the same openness in return. There will be times when life tests us, moments of frustration, confusion, or miscommunication. But I believe in the connection we've built, and I believe we have the strength to move through those moments with patience and love. Not because everything will always be easy, but because what we share is worth protecting, worth choosing, worth nurturing. The truth is, I think of you more often than I admit. You cross my mind in the quiet of the morning, in the business of the afternoon, in the stillness of the night. And each time, it brings me a sense of calm, a reminder that somewhere out there is a person whose presence has softened the world for me. You've become a reason for hope in my days, a reason to smile even when the day has been long. This message is not meant to be dramatic or overwhelming. It's meant to feel like a gentle confession, the kind that settles softly into your heart and stays there. I want you to remember it on the days you feel distant from yourself, on the days you question your worth, on the days you feel unseen. You are seen by me, you are valued, you are cared for in ways you may not always recognize. And as we move forward, I want you to know that I am excited for the memories we haven't created yet, for the conversations still waiting to unfold, for the moments of laughter, for the moments of quiet understanding, for every step we take toward a future shaped by mutual respect, compassion, and trust. My feelings for you are not fleeting, they are consistent, thoughtful, and sincere. They live not just in words, but in the way I think about you, in the way I prioritize you, in the way I want to grow alongside you. This is the truth of what I feel, spoken with the calm certainty of someone who knows the value of what stands before them. And there is still more I want to share with you. So much more. As I reach this final part of what I want to say to you, I find myself thinking about how connections like ours don't arrive loudly or demand attention. They grow quietly, shaped by trust and gentle honesty, shaped by the courage to speak openly, and the willingness to listen with the heart rather than just the ears. The more I reflect on you, on us, the more I understand how meaningful this bond has become in my life. Not because it is perfect or flawless, but because it is real. Because it is built on sincerity, on shared truth, and on moments that have touched my spirit in ways I did not expect. There's something incredibly powerful about knowing you can turn to another person without having to prepare yourself first, without needing to pretend or disguise your fears behind practiced words. With you, I've found that kind of refuge. A place where my thoughts can unfold freely, where my feelings can speak without hesitation, where I don't have to hold myself together just to be understood. And I want to offer you the same kind of space in return, a place where your heart has room to rest. You deserve someone who listens deeply, who notices the subtle changes in your voice, who cares enough to ask how you're really doing even when the answer is complicated. You deserve someone who doesn't turn away from your vulnerability, someone who sees your inner world as something precious and worth protecting. And though I may not always express it perfectly, I want to be that person for you. The one who stays when life grows heavy, the the one who encourages you to speak your truth even when it trembles. There's a sincerity to this connection that continues to surprise me. It's as if every moment we share quietly expands into something deeper, something more enduring. And each time I try to put my feelings into words, I discover new depths to them, layers of affection, admiration, and devotion that weren't as clear to me before. It's a beautiful thing to realize how much emotion can grow in the spaces between conversations, in the silences, in the memories that linger long after we've said goodnight. I want you to understand how grateful I am for the trust you've placed in me. Trust isn't something I take lightly. It's delicate, vulnerable, shaped by countless small decisions to open your heart even when you don't know what will come of it. Every time you share a piece of yourself with me, your hopes, your doubts, the things that weigh on your mind, I hold those pieces with care. You trusting me is not something I ever want to overlook. And when you're unsure of yourself, I hope my words can be a steady reminder of your strength. You have a resilience that shines even when you're tired, a courage that carries you through more than you realize. You always find a way to rise again, to keep moving even when your heart feels heavy. I see that in you. I admire it deeply. I hope you let yourself see it too. I know that life doesn't always move gently. There will be days when the world feels cold, when your plans unravel, when you question the path you're walking. But on those days, I want you to remember this message, not as something meant to comfort you only once, but as something to return to whenever you need steadiness. Let these words be a place where you can breathe when everything else feels overwhelming. You don't have to pretend to be strong for me. You don't need to silence your doubts or hide the parts of you that feel uncertain. I want to hear your worries just as much as your joys. I want to understand what weighs on you, what confuses you, what frightens you, not because I have all the answers, but because caring for you means wanting to share the burden, even when I cannot lift it completely. There's something incredibly intimate about letting someone see the parts of you that aren't polished or rehearsed. And I want you to know that when you share those parts with me, I don't think less of you. If anything, it makes me hold you closer in my thoughts. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of trust, of connection, of depth. And the more you allow me into the quiet places of your heart, the more grateful I become for the closeness between us. I hope this message reminds you that your voice matters. Your dreams matter. I want to know them, not just the successes, but the ones still taking shape, still uncertain, still fragile. Tell me the things you've never said out loud, the hopes you've carried quietly, the dreams you fear might be too big. Let me walk with you through all of it. I want to support you in ways that make you feel stronger, not pressured, encouraged, not overwhelmed. And while I want to be your safe place, your refuge, I also want to see you soar. I want to celebrate your victories, stand beside you in your growth, and watch you become everything you're meant to be. Your potential is enormous. Even if you don't always recognize it, you are capable of more than you imagine. There is a brilliance in you that I hope you learn to trust, because it is real. It's something I see clearly each time you speak from your heart. There's something else I want to share with you too. It's quiet, but important. You have changed me. Not in a dramatic, life-changing way, but in a gentle, enduring way that has settled into my soul. You've taught me to slow down, to listen more carefully, to appreciate the tenderness of small moments. You've shown me the beauty of sincerity, of speaking without armor, of letting affection exist without fear. You've reminded me that connection doesn't need to be perfect to be meaningful. It only needs to be honest. When I think about the future, I don't picture something grand or overwhelming. I picture simple moments, sitting beside you as the world quiets down, sharing thoughts that only come to the surface when night has softened everything else, laughing about things only we understand, creating memories that feel like home even when we're far from it. I picture us facing challenges together, supporting each other through every doubt and celebrating every triumph, no matter how small. The future is uncertain, but what I feel for you is not. There is a constancy to my affection, a steadiness that doesn't shift with circumstance. You deserve that kind of devotion. Something reliable, something present, something that doesn't fade with distance or difficulty. And I offer that to you sincerely. If ever you question whether you are loved or valued, I hope you return to these words, and let them remind you. You are treasured not for what you do, but for who you are. For your patience, your resilience, your kindness, your depth. For the way you care, the way you hope, the way you move through the world with quiet strength, even when you don't realize you're doing it. I want to continue building something meaningful with you, shaped by understanding and nurtured by honesty. I want us to grow together, not by rushing, but by letting time deepen what we share. I want to keep learning who you are, not just in the easy moments, but in the difficult ones too. That's where real closeness is formed, where trust becomes unshakable, where love becomes something enduring. As you finish listening to this message, I hope you feel the warmth behind every word. I hope you feel the sincerity, the depth, the tenderness meant only for you. This isn't just a moment of emotion. It's a truth I want you to carry with you in every season of your life. You are not alone. Not in your thoughts, not in your struggles, not in your dreams. I am here, and I am choosing to walk beside you, with patience, with devotion, with a heart that holds space for you exactly as you are. Thank you for letting me into your world. Thank you for trusting me with your truth. Thank you for being someone worth caring for so deeply. This bond we share is rare, and I will cherish it always. No matter where life leads us, know this: you are valued, you are supported, and you are loved with a sincerity that will not fade. Keep this message close to your heart. Let it remind you of the connection we've built, the affection that binds us, and the promise that I will always remain by your side with kindness, understanding, and unwavering devotion. This is my final word for now, but my feelings for you continue far beyond these sentences. They live quietly in the spaces between them, in the warmth of every thought I carry of you, in the steady beat of a heart that holds you with gentle certainty.